Buzz Aldrin, astronaut, the second person to walk on the moon. Abraham Lincoln, U.S. President. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, legendary composer. Sir Winston Churchill, British Prime Minister. Richard Dreyfuss, Academy Award-winning actor, star of Jaws, Close Encounters, and The Goodbye Girl. Vivien Leigh, Academy Award-winning actress, star of Gone with the Wind and A Streetcar Named Desire. Jim Carrey, actor, comedian, redefined what's funny on film. Visionaries, intellectuals, leaders, artists, all success stories. All have battled mental illness.
They have a disorder that's affecting either thinking, emotion, or concentration. And essentially what they're saying is that they have a disorder with their brain that causes difficulty in their life.
Dr. Thomas Jensen is a psychiatrist and the medical director for the California Bipolar Foundation.
The brain is a very complex organ, but it is an organ like the heart or the pancreas. And you can no more will your brain to stop having a mental illness than you can will your coronary arteries into dissolving their plaque, or will your pancreas into creating more insulin. It really crosses all gender, ethnic, educational, and socioeconomic lines. I mean, I treat people with mental illness from every walk of life, including extremely successful senior business people, attorneys, physicians, and other people don't necessarily know they have a mental illness because, well treated, it's not apparent.
Meet Jack and Jill. Jack goes to the doctor once a month. Jill goes to the doctor once a month. Jack takes prescription medication. Jill takes prescription medication. Jack deals with a chronic health problem. Jill deals with a chronic health problem. Jack has diabetes. Jill has a mental illness. Different illnesses, same problems. Music has always brought joy to the Kinnemer family. It's a gift that was passed from mother to son.
Todd was a wonderful, loving kid, talented and bright, and we thoroughly loved raising him. Wasn't a lot of trouble. All through school, he played music, played violin, and then got into guitar when he was in high school. Todd went away to college his first year out of high school, and the very next year he lost a close friend to a car wreck, and that seemed to be a real trauma to him that he couldn't fully process.
Our knowledge as far as mental illness was minute, and I had heard of bipolar but didn't really know. I mean, I'd heard jokes about it mainly and didn't really understand it, but I remember when we were with Todd saying to my husband, Todd seems to be manic. He would just talk, and we couldn't find a way to push in, and had never really seen that before.
He'd had a psychotic episode and ended up with a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. We were supposed to meet Todd again for Thanksgiving, and he was just getting to where he couldn't make sense of anything, and went home on a Thursday and took his life.
What if we had read about these things? What if we had had courses or had people come talk to us in the school to where I could kind of attach some of the behavior, odd behavior, to what I was hearing? Might that have made a difference as Todd grew? I think that early education might have helped, and who knows, he might be here today.
My name's Muffy Walker, and welcome to the California Bipolar Foundation Caregiver Support Group.
Coming to this group one time completely changed my life. From 8 years of torment and not knowing what was going on with them to everyone here talking about the books to read, the websites, the groups to go to, the research to do. I picked up The Explosive Child and The Bipolar Child and read them, and it completely changed everything.
I have 3 children. They are 21, 18, and almost 16, and it's my almost 16-year-old who has bipolar disorder. He was symptomatic at age 4 and diagnosed when he was 7.
We need to talk about what we're afraid of and talk about things we don't get and understand, and we need to get support.
Even with support, living with mental illness can be a challenge, especially when you're battling both the illness and the stigma.
If they met Lauren on any given day, they would think she was just a normal little girl, like she is. But if they saw her when she was having a manic episode or depressive episode, then that's all they would see. But if they really looked at her for what she is, she's just a normal, beautiful little girl. People seem to forget that this is an illness like any other illness. And if somebody's child had leukemia or had any other disease, every neighbor would be bringing flowers and be giving you support and be giving you every bit of understanding and help they could. But with mental illness, sometimes people kind of shy away from it, and it's absolutely no different. The family needs equally as much support.
We say painful things to each other because we don't understand. I mean, I rarely use the word crazy. I mean, that's not really even in my vocabulary anymore, because I don't take it lightly for someone to say, oh, he's just crazy. That's painful.
There is a great stigma. People will often have to keep it from their employers or people that they know.
This is not about character. This is not about who this person is. It's about an illness.
An estimated 26.2% of Americans ages 18 and older, about 1 in 4, suffer from a diagnosable mental disorder. Major depressive disorder is the leading cause of disability in the U.S. for ages 15 to 44. The stigma of mental illness contributes to social isolation, distress, and prevents people from seeking help.
I was standing on the Golden Gate Bridge with the intent to jump and die that day. And on the trip getting to the Golden Gate, I had made a pact with myself, much like many suicidal people do, that if someone saw my pain and asked me if I was okay, or something close to those words, I would have told them everything. I was there because I thought I was a bad person. And I was there because I thought I was a burden and I had to die. I have bipolar disorder, type 1 with psychotic features and aberrant self-violent behavior. I didn't understand what that meant until I left 8 years of denial behind me. The stigma prevented me from telling my parents the truth up until that day where I jumped. The stigma prevented me from telling any of my friends, and I have a lot of friends in the city. I couldn't tell any of them.
There's a myth that people with mental illnesses are dangerous somehow. There also seems to be this myth that if you hang around with mentally ill people, somehow you'll end up mentally ill yourself. And then there's a lot of misinformation that's put out there on the internet. Everyone knows people with mental illness. They may not know that they know them, but we're surrounded by folks with mental illness. The overwhelming majority of people with mental illness can lead a normal, healthy life with good treatment and with attention to lifestyle issues.
Research is going really fast. We understand the brain in a way in which we didn't understand it 5 years ago. There are new treatments, there are effective treatments. It's just important to deal with it and to deal with it head on. But it doesn't take away from the pain of the illness once you experience it.
Hi, my name is Muffy Walker, founder and board president of the California Bipolar Foundation. You just had an opportunity to see the many challenges and triumphs of individuals coping with mental illness, specifically bipolar disorder. Over 57 million Americans, or 26%, suffer from a mental illness. Mental illnesses are the leading cause of disability in the U.S. and Canada, nearly 6 million of whom have bipolar disorder. If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental illness, or have felt the devastating effects of social stigma, there is hope. We want you to join us in our fight to eliminate social stigmas associated with mental illness and to help us find a cure for bipolar disorder. To learn more about mental illness or to get connected to support resources, visit our website at www.californiabipolarfoundation.org or give us a call at 858-342-0327. And thank you very much.